Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go.
Dozens of supporters for Yunsong Bellamy Zhao rallied outside of the U.S. Immigration Court in Arlington, Virginia earlier today while Zhao's lawyers were inside of court fighting to get Zhao released on bond. Yunsong Bellamy Zhao is a Chinese national that came to America on a student visa in 2017. He began studying at Virginia Tech shortly after his arrival. In addition to his studies, Zhao was also interested in the U.S. military and police and obtained a hunting license and bought a gun. Foreign nationals cannot have a gun with a clip that holds more than 20 rounds. Zhao complied with that law. The Virginia Tech police knew that Zhao was in compliance with the law because he kept his gun in a locker at the Virginia Tech police station. In January, an officer claimed that he observed Zhao using a 30-round clip while shooting at a gun range. Despite having no physical evidence to back up the officer's claim, police arrested Zhao and charged him with possessing an illegal firearm. Zhao was thrown in jail and denied a bond. Virginia Tech kicked Zhao out of school, subsequently making Zhao's student visa invalid, which in return made Zhao's presence in the country illegal. So the Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement put an immigration hold on Zhao. Earlier this week, in a Montgomery County Circuit Court, Zhao was found not guilty on the gun charges brought against him by the Virginia Tech police. The judge in the case scolded the prosecution for bringing these egregious charges against Zhao and said they should have never been filed. Despite Zhao's acquittal, the immigration hold is still in place and Zhao is being held in detention. Aside from 3 Department of Homeland Security police officers observing the rally and questioning Americans Resisting Minority and Ethnic Discrimination Representative Pastor Frank Jackson, the peaceful rally in support of Zhao went off without a hitch. Inside the courtroom, the judge took Zhao's attorney's request for bond under advisement and said she would rule on the matter of bond in writing within a week. Here's Zhao's attorney, Jessica Sherman Stoltz, explaining to Breaking Through News what took place in court today and what's next.
On Tuesday, the day after Yunsong was found to be not guilty, I filed in the immigration court an emergency bond reconsideration and attached a copy of the not guilty order to it. The judge heard argument on that today and decided she wanted to take some time to consider whether or not she's going to give him bond. So she said that she was going to be taking it under advisement today. The arguments provided her a copy of the transcript from the hearing on Monday, and she said she would provide a written opinion like within the next week.
That's right.
So she continued out his asylum hearing until the 24th of October to allow for time for herself to provide that decision about his bond. If he's given bond, then that asylum hearing will go off the docket. If he's not given bond, then his next court date is the 24th of October.
Mike Donovan is the president and CEO for Nexus Services. Nexus Services is the company that is funding Zhao's legal fees and a lawsuit on Zhao's behalf against Virginia Tech. Donovan spoke briefly after the hearing at a press conference.
Shockingly, the government made an argument that the not guilty verdict in the criminal trial, the only reason he was ever arrested, is not a sufficient change in circumstance. But it just goes to show how deplorable the Trump Justice Department is. And they'll stop at nothing to force deport as many people as possible in their quest to make America white again. The reality is that this respondent and all respondents in the immigration court have due process rights guaranteed them by the Constitution. The judge did the right thing by taking the time to read the transcript. Hopefully she'll make the right decision. But we're going to fight, in Nexus Services we're going to fight, and I know his competent counsel will fight, and we fight in different ways, to support Yunsong because he matters, as does everyone who's swept up in the Trump deportation machine. I think history judges us by how we handle these things, and we've got to fight on the front lines of this every single day to try to save people like Yunsong. He's worth saving.
Breaking Through News will continue to follow this story and update our viewers as more information becomes available. In Arlington, Virginia, Theodore Whitelow for Breaking Through.